Hey, princesses. I think that's the new thing I'm going to say, princesses. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time, but I am back and I'm back to stay. My infamous guest back, Jade Salah. Ajayi. She's no longer Ajayi. She got married and I'm going to be interviewing her. Questions relating to marriage, being a young wife, getting married early. And just to start off, because marriage is a hot topic when you're a young Christian woman, it's like everybody wants to be married. How do we differentiate desiring marriage earnestly, it's a God-given desire, versus idolizing marriage?
I think, let me start from the second part. Idolizing marriage is when you've made it your entire identity. Desiring marriage is God has put that desire there, or you have that desire, surrendering it to Christ, and you're allowing God lead you. You know, you're not stopping other areas of your life because of marriage. I think that's the difference. Like, it's like you're desiring to go to school, but if you does, like, other areas of your life are not dying just because you're going to school. That is a desire, and a healthy one, and you're surrendering it with Christ. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy, right? Desiring doesn't take away the sometimes maybe pain of waiting, especially for some people who it might take longer to get to that person. It doesn't eliminate those things, but your sense of worth, identity is not just in there. So I'll say that's the difference.
Thank you. Makes a lot of sense. Okay, so you got married this year, well, last year now, it's 2026.
Oh my God, yes.
Wow. At 24, you got engaged at 23. At 23 years old, what made you feel like I'm ready to be married and say yes to this man for the rest of my life?
That interesting. I actually have a video I filmed, and that would come on my channel. But to put it succinctly, I would say that everybody's story and journey is different. For me, I have been that girl that has always desired marriage. So what that meant is that I'm naturally gravitated towards content or like advice or just things that had to do with marriage and marrying early. So I surrounded myself with those things and those information. And honestly, at least the on the internet, it wasn't really normalized, especially in this generation, to want to get married young. It was like, why are you doing that? You're wasting your youth, like don't do that. But for me, I would still like surround myself with, and I mean early and even before 23, and I know that became more active because I remember I was in Florida, I was in college, but and I was listening to one sermon on marriage. I think I was 18 or 19 at that time. So my point is, early on, I surrounded myself with that. I had immersed myself in that information, knowledge about marriage, and with the natural desire as well. So I think indirectly, those things prepared me. And as I was working on other areas of my life, I knew this is what I wanted. It's something like I'd even always prayed about. So it was that type of thing early on. Then, like a year or two before that, there was active preparation that at the time I didn't know was active preparation, but there were things that God was bringing my way to prepare me, conferences that taught me more about marriage, a mentorship program I signed up that did not even have anything to do with marriage, but marriage came in that way. So those things prepared me, praying as well, fasting as well. So yeah. So when the person came, for me, it wasn't like, oh, I didn't know, like I knew, like I was by God's grace prepared, and I knew it was time.
Okay, that brings me on to my next question. So you felt like you were prepared. What do you think preparation looks like? Like some people say, oh, don't get married till you're like whole. I've always found that concept to be a little unrealistic, because when do you really become whole? So what do you think is the proper amount of preparation that's necessary before saying I'm ready to be married, and what is an inadequate amount in your opinion?
Okay, that question is a very good question. And actually, this is something my husband and I used to talk about early on, that you cannot be fully prepared for marriage. So to your point that you can't be fully, I've mastered it, because there's something people say that marriage is that institution that you're giving your certificate even before graduating.
Right.
You know, so you can't, like, that's honestly, from a Christian perspective, that's even what marriage is. It's supposed to continue to teach you and grow you and all of that. However, to be honest, I still believe there's a level of preparation to go in with. My experience is, I think it began with the salvation of my soul, getting closer to Christ and understanding Christ, understanding myself through that lens. It continued, like in marriage, I learned more about myself and stuff, but to a certain degree, because to be very honest, before you can even choose somebody or know who God has for you, you need to know yourself, your destiny, who are you, what are your likes, what are your likes, who is this person that can complement you and the type of person you are. So that is what like preparation would even do for you, because you especially as a woman, like you are choosing. So preparation would even let you know, you would learn about yourself, about like womanhood, about marriage, and the very first step in everything before you even think of marriage, choosing the person. Do you understand? If you don't know yourself, you can't that's where some people make it, because there's a lot I want to say.
Yes.
I said something, the test of even a good marriage is not even like leading to the altar, because unfortunately and sadly, that's why like divorce rates are higher now. It's not the aesthetics of the wedding, it's not what Hollywood has painted marriage to be. That said, there is like, you need to know yourself. It's not just I'm rushing, I'm giddy. Hey, no, you need to know yourself. I learned somewhere, me search. You know how we do research? Me search, knowing yourself. I've emphasized a lot on knowing yourself. So now practically, what does that mean?
Right.
Like I said, going closer to God, and then literally in prayer and a conscious awareness to know yourself. And then for me, like I said, I went to conferences and I was just like, okay, what does it mean to be a woman? I read the word of God as well, and then as you read it, you begin to see yourself through the lens of other people, and then this is me. I'm big on purpose, identity, destiny. That is me.
Yeah.
So I would say like that's how like I knew myself, like from the bigger lens of destiny, purpose, like what was I created for? And then in the little things like, what do I like to do, like what's my personality? I did personality tests, those type of things, like temperament tests, practically.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So you think there's a certain amount of yourself you can learn?
Yes.
And then it continues to unfold.
Yes.
Okay, and that brings me on to meshes all with my next question, which is, how has your understanding of destiny and purpose been altered as a married woman, if it has?
What do you mean altered? Altered means when something goes left.
How has your understanding of it been altered, if it's been changed, like your understanding of the meaning of destiny, purpose? Has your understanding of it changed? Is it the same?
I think it's the same.
Okay.
I think it's the same.
So you feel like
but then that's because I was identity, purpose, and destiny conscious. And honestly, I would even give that credit to my mom from when I was young. She talk about those type of things, and as I grew older, it also became something I was passionate about and understanding more. So,
and the reason
probably that's why.
Right. The reason I asked that is because I feel like another big hot topic as a Christian is marriage, and then there's also purpose, like what was I made for, something people obsess over.
Okay.
I used to feel like, oh my gosh, there's one thing I'm made for. Now I feel like over the years you kind of begin to discover different purposes. There's not just one reason I'm here. There's like different things that will unfold over the years.
I think there's one purpose, but there are different assignments under the purpose.
Yeah, you can word it like that, but I feel like when I get married, I'll uncover another kind of layer to my purpose that I will not be able to realize right now.
Okay.
So that's why I'm asking, do you feel like that's happened as you
Okay,
got married?
so
is there something you didn't realize you were made for, you could do before that? Now you're like, oh, this is something I could have, been put on the earth for. I can do as a joint.
No, it didn't happen for me.
Okay.
Because I think early on, that was something I went prayerfully in to understand. So if I'm discovering anything now, it's new assignment under my purpose. In the way I understand purpose, it is new assignments that I'm discovering per season, like this is something I'm supposed to do. But that this grant, even my husband and I, when we met, like this is something like we're supposed to do, like we knew our purpose together and how it aligned.
You've seen it mesh together.
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. All right, so let's talk submission.
Okay.
What does it look like actually? Is it hard? Has it been easy? I don't know, that's a sensitive topic, but what is submission? How has it been like actually being submitted to someone?
Okay, so I would say that for me, one thing is because I knew this thing was because especially for men, right? And an African man, me, I've always been interested in a Nigerian man, right? There's a cultural definition and there's a biblical definition of submission.
Okay.
You're going to be with like a Nigerian man or like an African man. There are two different types of submission. There's cultural, where some people, there's only one submission, but unfortunately, because Nigeria is a patriarchal country, most men without Christ have seen submission as a cultural thing of do as I do, do as I say. I'm not seen in the crisis. And the reason I'm taking this to that is because this was a conversation that we had before marriage. I think this type of things are things that you have the conversation with, like before you get married, within yourselves, with your counselor, with your mentor. So we had that by the grace of God. We spoke about it ourselves. We had church counseling and we have mentors and we discuss these things with. That said, we understand submission in the way that is said in the Bible and the way Christ has defined submission to be. Submission for me is not a problem in the sense that it is not it's not slavery under a man. It's not do as I do. It's just trusting in the leadership, in the vision of this man, and we're working together as a partner to bring it together. Because when you think of marriage in itself, and not just taking out and not just people talking about respect and submission, it's a body. And I got this analogy, I'm not even going to give myself credit, I got it from Pastor Mildred Okonkwo. When they say the husband is the head, and then if you are submitting, like you're the neck, what does the neck do to the head? It supports it. So without the neck, the head cannot even do anything. So they have to work in tandem, they have to work together. So in my marriage, that's what submission is. It's not like this person is bossing me around or anything. No, it is, we're working together under the vision that he has for us as a family, and my opinions are respected, and that's
I feel some people they have it's a hard pill to swallow that you have to submit. Some people don't see it as a beautiful thing, and I feel like it's a whole other video to discuss why submission is not a horrible thing and it's not slavery.
It depends on the man you marry, the conversations you have, and his understanding.
So it's important to have those conversations.
It's very important to know the person's view on it. What do they see? Because on the other side, then there are some men that say you don't respect me. But respect to them is very stupid. Respect is you did not serve me food. Respect is you did not kneel down to greet me.
Okay,
is that really respect, or is that don't get me wrong, there's a balance between in your marriage, like what does this person like and what makes them feel loved.
Right.
But again, I'm a Nigerian girl, and I'm very in tune with my Nigerian side, and I'm talking to people who maybe I don't know about other races or anything. So I'm talking to people who maybe interested in African men. So it's from that perspective I'm coming in, that these are things to know the man's mindset, because he's the one that will carry that. It's really how they say, the woman says it on, but the woman says it on, yes, but as well the type of man, to his mentality, how does he see these things, that really matters a lot, and that would help. Because I'm saying it like this, that's because that's how I see it, and I met somebody that aligned and saw it in that way. But if I saw it like this and I was somebody else that saw it as the opposite of what submission is, I might not be talking to you like this. So there's that.
No, I feel like there's a whole video needed on that. Maybe you should do it on your channel.
When the Lord.
So you've been married for like 3 months now, almost 4.
Yeah.
Going on to 4 months. What has been the highlight of marriage so far, and what has been the biggest adjustment
Okay, the highlight has been friendship. It's been friendship, and it's been seeing that God answers prayers. It's been seeing that God sees the desires of your heart. It's been seeing that marriage still works. It's been seeing that marriage doesn't have to be what other people say it is. Like, sadly, I see things on internet people talk about. I'm like, oh my God, I wish. And I think it goes back to like that your question about proposal. It reminds me, like, definitely, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing more of this, and by God's grace my channel will be more of those in 2026, right? But it's just been demystifying, I hope I'm using that word right, things that people have said about marriage, and it's like, no, this thing is not true, you know. Like, it's just, marriage is a very good and beautiful thing. So that has been a highlight, like the friendship, just living with your person. You can talk to this person anytime, you can do anything you want to this person anytime. Like, someone that gets you, like, I don't know, that has your back, that loves you. I know some people say love is transactional, but to be very honest, when I look at marriage, I'm like, I cannot say it's transactional. Like, my husband loves me unconditionally, like, you know, that type of thing, and I can say it anywhere. So it's just so beautiful seeing love in its purest form. It's almost like seeing the, like, how nobody can fully love us like Christ loves us, but I feel like my husband is the closest to that type of
that's
thing.
how it's supposed to be.
Yes. So yeah, what's your other question?
The biggest adjustment.
The biggest adjustment has been living styles.
Okay.
Yeah, because it doesn't happen in every marriage, because everybody's different. I don't mean it's a gender thing, but for us it's a gender thing where I'm very neat, tidy, all of those things. Like, my husband said he thinks I even have OCD. So yeah, just from like that angle, right? He's not rough for anything, but for me, because I even had that issue with my sister, to be honest, even my sister. So that's been it, actually.
How have you been able to work on that? If you don't mind sharing.
How have I been able? I don't know. I think we're both, one thing that we both are very in sync, we're both very adjustable. So we've both been able to meet in the middle, like, oh, you understand. It's not like, my wife does not like this, let me put it like this is how she wants it. Like, he will make us a joke, like, so I'll not get in trouble, that type of thing. So, and then some things like, I'm like, okay, I'll overlook it. I'm like, okay, no, this is not, yeah. So yeah, on both ends.
Meeting in the middle on both ends.
Yes.
That's nice.
But he's meeting me more.
Of course. Yeah. Okay, so what piece of advice would you give to someone who earnestly desires marriage, has been waiting for a long time, and is starting to give up hope?
I would say continue to trust in God, and be still. Hear the voice of God for instructions He has for you per season, so you know, and you're not running a race He has not called you to, and you're just doing what you're supposed to be doing part-time. God is not a wicked God. He's a good Father. He doesn't want us to suffer. So just hold on to Him and be still, like, be at peace. That's what I will say. Be at peace.
Yeah, peace. Okay, I think that's a great way to end this beautiful conversation. Thank you so much for being a part of this. As you guys can see, she's full of wisdom. I am so
blessed
to have direct access to this. This is a well of knowledge. Every time I'm with Jadishala, I just take everything I can get from her. So I'm so blessed, honestly. So make sure you head over to her channel, and you know, for more content similar to this, she does, you know, tell them what kind of content you have.
So I do, thank you so much for shouting out my channel. So I do faith, fashion, lifestyle, wellness content. Did I say that? Abi? Faith. Because I just updated my thing, because I'm one of people, I'm the niche. So I do faith, fashion, lifestyle, growth and wellness. Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, and that's Jade Ajayi. She's a married woman. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, what questions do you have? Maybe we can do another video some other time.
Yeah, God willing.
God willing. So we don't live in the same state, but next time we're together. So make sure to comment your questions below, because she has a lot of wisdom. Thank you.
Thank God, though. Glory to Jesus.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye, princesses.
Bye, princesses. Should I be inclusionary and say princess? don't know.
You
Royal
can't,
family.
you can't. I mean, I know one channel that like she does. I don't even know what she does. Like, if you're Emma, why even watching my channel? So it's like you might just be like for the girlies.
Okay.
And doesn't mean you are narrowed down.
Okay. All right. Thumbnail.